And what's going on, guys? New effects with Black Flag Trading. It's July 12th, 2018. It's about 12 o'clock in the morning here in Texas. So we've got a very nice setup, and I want to show you how I think we can grab at least 600 pips on this pair coming up very shortly, probably in the next week or so. Okay, that's when we're gonna pull the trigger on this. But I wanted to go through the chart and show you exactly how I analyze these and what do I look for, and also how to manage risk. So before you do anything, okay, before you do anything, if you guys are new to this, this is primarily for newbies, obviously, but more seasoned traders, believe it or not, will mess up some of the fundamental things as well. So this is how you got to look at this, and this is obviously the Euro Swiss. Okay, it's a daily chart. So we had our massive, and this lasted for the last couple of years, but a very beautiful, very symmetric ABCD pattern. Okay, we're gonna take it from this point because this was when the Swiss banks, I don't know if you remember, but I remember it very well because I made a shitload of money on this back in 13. This one, they essentially put a ceiling on their currency and debased it, and this thing dropped 2,200 pips, guys, in like a day. So we're not gonna count this bottom because of the whipsaw action. We're gonna count this point, okay, for our A. If I can find it, A, B, beautiful 618, and the D would have been here. It pierced through a little bit, but it's okay. But technically we did get our very beautiful, very symmetric ABC 618 bounce and the extension. So this baby popped from about 105.90 to 170, so about 1300 pips roughly. Okay, 1200 pips. All right, so a very easy way of finding opportunities is this. Okay, so our first ABCD leg got completed. Okay, so we can do away with that. Now we have to reposition our Fibonacci's. Okay, and that's assuming we have a top, which I think we do, and I'll get to that in a second. But given that we hit our D, typically, and you saw how he went a little past it. Obviously, they're not always that precise, but you get the point. The buy down here would have still been a great buy, and it would have triggered the out, even though it went back up and past it a little bit. But regardless, the trade was very valid. But now, remember the A, B, C, D, okay? You have to move your Fibonacci now on this swing move. So your last C becomes your new A, okay? Your D point, which we're gonna count this one because that was the top before this new low, okay? Not this. Had prices been still around here, this would have been the top. But since we made a new high and then a new low, the top, my friends, is this one, okay? So we have a new A, B, and I believe we're coming down to C again. Why do I have these levels marked? Well, first of all, if you look back here, we had a beautiful double top. Okay, so this past resistance is most likely going to act as a magnet for these prices. Okay, it's going to act as support. Okay, we've talked about this. Past resistance equals future support typically, not always, but most of the time. Let me get on the weekly. So, okay, so I think we're eventually gonna go much higher on this pair, okay, and I'll tell you why. But I think we're gonna go higher, but in the medium term I think we're gonna go down, and in the very short term on the 4-hour chart, I think we're going to go up a little bit first before our drop. Why? Because I think we are in the process of completing a very, a very beautiful head and shoulders. Okay? And so I think that key level, because of this, if you go down the 4-hour chart and see what's going on here, we have a sub A, B, C, beautiful 618, a little mini head and shoulders here, reverse head and shoulders, which happens at those pivot points. Okay, this would have been our C, so A, B, C, and I think we're going up to that D. Now the D, you have to play around with your Fibonacci's a little bit, because I always look for multiple points of confluence and convergence. Okay, so this A, B, C, D on the 4-hour chart, guys, it looks like it wants to end up at this 618 retracement of this down A, B, C to then come down to D. So again, just don't get confused. We're on the 4-hour chart. Let me zoom out a little bit, okay, so you recognize what we're talking about, because you do have to be pretty familiar with how you navigate through different time frames. Okay, so the little ABC that we just talked about is this. Okay, A, B, C. I think we're going to D, which would be essentially the ABC, and therefore right shoulder of this new pattern. Okay, so we're essentially going to be looking for A, B, C, because we sell and buy C's. Okay, and we get out of D's. Okay, so currently we're at 116.30. My guess is it'll probably be, I don't know, it depends. This pair sometimes moves, sometimes it's very stagnant. I don't know, but I want to say in the next week to 10 days, we might hit this level. Okay, again, 117.50-ish. Okay, so just mark your spot, open up your chart, make a little note. I believe there will be a very, very solid shorting opportunity on the Euro Swiss to go down, and then the D target, although it could come down way further than this line that I have here, but I'm keeping it conservative at 600 pips, because I think we're gonna hit the 618 retracement of this new AB. Remember, we completed the massive ABCD swing. Now we're within a new AB major impulse, and within those you have smaller ABC Elliott wave corrections, okay, which are essentially smaller ABCDs. Okay, don't get confused. There's just different ways of looking at it. So a lot of guys will say, here's your A, B, C Elliott wave correction. That's fine. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, it's still a down A, B, C, D. Okay, I follow the 4 counts. It's easier for me. It works better. Okay, your A, B, C, D legs based on Fibonacci's and patterns. Okay, you can go into Elliott wave all you want. Doesn't matter. You're still essentially doing the same thing. Okay, so again, I think we are going to go up in the short term. I think we're going to go up on the Euro Swiss to around 117.60-ish. At that point, I will place a trade. Most likely, it'll get to the top of this level, this left shoulder, okay, which is 118.30. But still, it's only 70 pips risk there. It's not worth risking missing this out for that much. Okay, once it gets to 117.60-ish, I would honestly place a trade, and we'll keep our eyes on it, obviously. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video, see if something is looking sketchy, but I would honestly consider taking this, because it's extremely symmetrical, and the way it's coming back up after making this new low, Okay, we've got a new low after this pullback. So this confirms this it's a work in progress, but it confirms the formation of this head and shoulders. Because what you also do, okay, as one last tool that I use to kind of confirm this, you're gonna draw your upward trend line. Okay, this was the upward trend line of this last leg up, and what do I always say? Let it break it. Okay, it's your first sign. Let it break it. Then don't short it right away, unlike most people say online. Let it come back to the back side of that broken trend line. In this case, it will form the right shoulder, basically. And then draw your Fibonacci's from last high to low swing, AB. Look at that. We're at the 618, and we should go down to at least this level, which is a 618 of this leg. Now, we could go further down. I think we will eventually touch this long-term upward trend line, which is yet another confirmation that most likely we're coming there, okay? Because before any major moves, these prices like to bounce off these trend lines, okay? But my point is, the reason we're getting out of this 618 of this is because, first of all, it's 600 pips. So there's no need to be greedy for another, what, 100, 150, because it might hit this and blow up from there, okay? But if you go back, I mean, look at this unbelievable resistance here, which is very likely gonna act as support. So that's the safe target, okay? So again, it's July 12th, 2018. We will be looking at shorting the Euro Swiss at around 117.60ish, and we will target 111.60, okay, for 600 pips. We'll keep our eyes on it. And guys, if you want more analysis, like the video and share it, okay, if you don't mind. And subscribe, obviously. I'll keep making videos like this. And if you are trading, or maybe you're struggling, or you just don't have the right ideas or the right management, you don't know how to look for opportunities, okay, feel free to check us out at blackflagtrading.com. Okay, we have different packages for cryptos, for stocks, for Forex, and I think you would really benefit from the service. Okay, so just check us out. Either way, share it, like it, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.